B-boy. From the old to the new, still a B-boy. Too bold for the school, still a B-boy. East Coast to the West, B-boys worldwide. We supposed to be blessed, still a B-boy.
This week, we're heading out west to the Bay Area, Oakland, to talk to an OG from the Bay Area who's been putting it down for 3 decades. From being part of a classic song that people still sing along to today, to an impressive solo career, this man is West Coast royalty. Welcome to the show, Yukmouth. How you doing, man?
Oh, man, I'm good money, man. Can't complain, man. Sorry about the misscheduling of last week. We got kind of tied up, but we rescheduled and we back at it, man. Sorry to the listeners, too, man. You know, our bag for dropping the ball, but we back.
All right.
All good, all good.
So I start every interview the same. What are your first memories of hearing hip-hop?
I think Curtis Blow, The Message. That was the first one that really intrigued me. Now, I was hearing all types of rap before that, but The Message really intrigued me, you know. And right after that, you had Sugar Hill Gang, of course, you know, but it was mainly Curtis Blow. Not Curtis Blow, Melly Mel.
Melly Mel, yeah.
Melly Mel, not Curtis Blow, Melly Mel with The Message. Then Sugar Hill Gang, then Curtis Blow. Then Run DMC. That's how it was. Then LL. So that was my history.
So when you start getting into hip-hop, did you have a favorite one or two MCs as a kid?
Of course, man. You know, being from the West Coast, I always rock with Ice Cube. You know what I mean? Loved Ice Cube. Scarface from the Ghetto Boys, of course. KRS-One from Boogie Down Productions. Rakim from Eric B. and Rakim. Coogee Rap from the Juice Crew. You know, over there with Marley Marl and Biz Markie and Big Daddy Kane. Also Big Daddy Kane. He was fly and he had bars. That's about it as far as my favorites from back then.
Man, I love the amount of people that have been bringing out Scarface, though. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Face is a legend, man. So I always...
Big inspiration.
Yeah. Always.
Absolute legend with a capital L. So at what age did you start writing, rhyming yourself?
Like in junior high school, like around the 8th grade, you know, met up with my rap partner at Numbskull. So we was rapping together since junior high school in a rap group called BWP, Brothers with Potential. And it was a few. It was me, Numb, Kevin Choice, Keon, Mo Diggs, a couple other brothers. And we just a crew, you know, from our junior high school, just rapping at lunch, you know, doing studio work, you know what I mean, trying to get signed as a youngsters. You know, you had, I think it was Crisscross was out at the time. So you had youngsters out at the time, Another Bad Creation. You had little kids out at that time. So we was influenced by groups like that, Crisscross and Another Bad Creation. Like, oh, they putting out teenagers and, you know, so we could do this. We don't have to be grown. So we started young, you know.
So how did you come up and what's the story behind your rap name, Yukmouth?
Oh, the cartoon, you know that. You know, I'm a cartoon.
I wasn't 100% sure, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a cartoonist, so I grew up loving cartoons, man. And it's a cartoon named Mighty Man. And he had a sidekick named Yukmouth. So Mighty Man was a small, like, Cuban Mexican guy with curly hair. He had a white suit, white and red costume. He was small. And he'd stand on Yukmouth, the dog's shoulder. You know what I mean? And Yukmouth had a dog house on his head. And that was his power. He'd take his dog house off his head and scare everybody. That was his secret power. So that's where I got the name from, you know, that cartoon. You know, and then they also had the little cartoon, they call you Yukmouth because you don't brush. That was like a cartoon, a commercial about brushing your teeth when we was growing up. You know, so them two was how I got the name.
So at what point did you meet Dru Down and start working with him?
Oh, man. We met Dru Down at Dangerous Studios the second day after we got signed. We met him at Dangerous Studios the same day we met Too Short, Ant Banks, everybody, like the whole squad. CNH, Chris Six, you know, he took us down. Like, I wanted to get you on my artist album, Dru Down. He working at Too Short Studio, Dangerous Studios. I'm going to bring y'all down. So that's when I first met him. But it was a bittersweet meeting because, you know, this is the legendary rap battle between, you know, Yukmouth, Rapper Ron, Ant Dilly Dog, and Eclipse. You know, none of them had no rhymes written right then. So I was the one that had to rap. You know, there was a rap battle between Too Short's rap group, which was Bad Influence, and CNH's rap group, which is the Luniz. But Numb couldn't rap. He didn't have no rhymes. So it's just me against three dudes, you know, basically. And okay, in triple team fashion, you're supposed to lose immediately. But I wiped out the first two rappers, and it was just me and Ron going back to back. And eventually, Ron won the battle. You know what I mean? I could take that. But yeah, I was outnumbered. I had to battle three dudes, So I think it was a handicap match, and I stood tall, you know.
And rapping Ron doesn't get remembered much. I mean, he was a dope MC, died way too soon. So he's kind of lost in the hip hop history with a lot of people. I mean, you would know better than me, but everything I always heard from him, I mean, he seemed like a dope MC.
Ron was dope as hell, man. And he also went to junior high school with us. So he was rapping. He wasn't in our crew though, but he was rapping at the same time in junior high. We went to Westlake, and also the Who Riders, Shot Black and Mr. Taylor. They went to our school too. So everybody had their little rap crews and stuff, you know what I mean? But Ron went to our school. We grew up with Ron. So we separated in high school though, so this battle happened when we in high school and whatnot. So I ain't seen Ron in years. He ain't seen me in years. So we kind of underestimated each other, because like Ron wasn't the best rapper in junior high school, and I wasn't the best rapper. It was people like, no, he was one of the dopest ever. You know what I mean? So we couldn't compare to him. So, I'm thinking like, Ron, if this the dude from back in the day, I got this. And he probably looking at me like, man, if that's that dude from back in the day, I got this. You know what I mean? And we surprised each other, man. But like you said, Ron is one of the dopest MCs ever from the Bay Area, from Oakland. Freestyle, writing, whatever you want to do, man. He can handle all level, man. All levels of hip hop, man. Definitely was super gifted, and definitely taken from us too soon, man. So big rest in peace to Rapper Ron.
So the question you probably get asked about the most is the song I Got Five on It. Obviously, everyone knows the theme, but how did that come together? Whose idea? How did it formulate?
It was crazy because me and were just chilling at the trap, spot where we write our rhymes and shit at, the hangout basically. And we ain't got no music. And we just beating on the table and shit and rapping, freestyling and shit. And like, everybody talk about getting high off weed, but they don't talk about what it takes to get weed. Because back then we was young, everybody pitching in, to get a 20 sack and shit like that. So he was like, man, we need to make a song called I Got Five on It and explain, us going to buy a sack and what it takes to actually get high. So he came with the concept, I came with the hook, and we wrote the motherfucker beating on the table. We ain't had no beat. So we write the shit, like freestyling, writing it down and shit, beating on the table and shit. Studio time come. We in the studio with Tone Capone. And this Tone Capone, he done did our first, this is our first time working with Tone, actually. This before he did the mixtape that we dropped with the Counterman on it. This is our first song we do with Tone, and this is our first song we doing as a solo album, because we done knocked out Dru Down whole album. This is the time of the remix, you know what I mean? Where people are remaking all the old school hits and whatnot. So Puff made it real famous. A couple artists made it real famous. Dr. Dre, everybody with the funk, with the Parliament and everything. So it was about, samples, what I mean, back in the day. So we was like, what beat that nobody used? You know what I mean? And it was like, why you treat me so bad? Club Nouveau. You know what I mean? We went to the record store, got the album, bought the Tone, and he redid it better than the original. He put some splash on that, put some sauce on that thing that made that thing out of the world. And we already had the vocals and the hook. So we laid the vocals in the hook, and I'm just rapping the hook, chanting the hook. And he like, okay, cool. This motherfucker is out of here, right? We come back the next day, and he has Mike Marshall from Timex Social Club, which is in the same Club Nouveau crew, singing the hook that I wrote. You know what I mean? And it sounds 1,000. It brought the song to life. Like that what was missing, somebody to sing that, what I was saying, instead of me saying it. So he sung it and blew that shit, like hit it out the park. And yeah, we got one. You know what I mean? And we sat on that bitch for 2 years, because we made it in 93. Oh, wow. We put it out to 95. So once we knew we had that, we just put it to the side and start working on the rest of the mixtape.
And one of my favorite remixes too, with Spice One, E40, there's a bunch of cats. The remix was just amazing too.
Yeah, that remix, another play from Puffy Book, Right. He did the Flavor in Your Ear remix, for Craig Mack with Busta Rhymes, Biggie, LL, everybody on that thing. You feel me? So took a page out of his book again, you know, 5 on the remix with them, you know, Bay Area All Stars, you know what I mean? E40, you know, Spice One, you know, Humpty Hump, Shock G, Richie Rich, Dru Down, you know what I mean? And us, you know what I mean? And knocked it out the park. You know, the radio stations and the record label had a lot to do with that because at that time we didn't have a relationship with Spice One. We didn't have a relationship with E40 like that at the time neither. So they reached out to 40 for us and they reached out to Spice and we all recorded in the same studio. You know, we all there the same night, getting drunk as hell, burning it down. You know, 40 was so drunk he had to come back and lay his shit the next day. Like 40 bought a whole fucking trash can and filled that bitch up with hella liquor and called it Hurricane. That's when he first made the Hurricane. Yeah. So he had a trash can of fucking plastic trash can and filled that bitch up and everybody just drinking all night. We just got too fucked up, man, period. So he couldn't lay his verse. He came later the next day and shit. Another one hit out the park. I think the remix, remix was better than the original. You know what I mean? Like with the artists on it and you know, the legendary, you know, the status of those artists that was on it with us, you know, compared to us being new in the game, it was huge for us. That was our first big feature, you know what I mean, period, in the game. So we definitely appreciate that, and it elevated us. It elevated the song.
Yeah, and it still is today, that song. I mean, young kids still can sing along. So it's great that you had a song with that much lasting power. But I'm going to throw it to Riplak because he's going to go into when you started going solo, and I know he's got some questions.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to bring up how I found your music in the beginning because I'm from the Midwest, but I came up with older brothers that listened to like Too Short, Ant Banks, NWA. So I got that real young. I became pretty hard into Tupac, like so hard that I followed the Outlaws afterwards. So basically I would go into the CD stores, man, and I would look at albums and what features there were. And I found yours. I didn't know who you were at the time, but I saw Outlaws were on it, so I bought it. I bought anything with Outlaws on it.
Okay.
We Gonna Ride was on that one. Hussein kicked it off too, which I was a huge Hussein fan. I did a track with him. Somebody Gonna Die Tonight. That one is ridiculous. I found you through that, and I got very heavily into your music 20 years ago, over 20 years ago. About that led me into. We know you've done a lot of features, but that led me into finding Crooked Eye as well, which I got like super duper into. Just all kinds of things that you opened my eyes to with that.
What about Tech Nine? That didn't open your eyes to Tech Nine.
So I'm from the Midwest though, so that was kind of already like
not back then.
Nah, you were ahead of the curve.
Like he wasn't out like that.
No, you were ahead of the curve.
Killers on the payroll. Besides that thing he did with Sway and King Tech was his only big feature. Like, let's stop playing. So he wasn't known like that, and he was living on the West Coast at that time, so he wasn't super known.
And I probably was into it, but you know,
you can't say you was a Tech Nine fan in '96 when that song came.
No. Like when I heard him on yours, I'm sure I liked it.
Okay,
unaware
of a lot of people like far as the West Coast and down south, they didn't know about him. You know, the Midwest, you know, of course he's from Kansas, you know, so he was kicking up dust before he even came to the coast. He'd been rapping for years before he even came to the coast. So they know about him in Kansas, but you know, it was on some they thought he was different. I ain't gonna say what they were saying, but they thought it was different, you know, and I think that we bridged the gap, you know, between the streets and being different, you know what I mean? And that bridged the gap to his audience. You know, you got a different audience and you got a street audience also. So that bridged the gap between the different audience and the street audience, and that made Tech Nine audience more powerful. You got more people following you, more people rocking with you. And Tech, him being the artist he is fucking amazing. So, you know, him, this himself, his hustle, his grind, him consistently touring, him consistently putting out albums, you know, hey, you're going to go to the top, man, especially with them bars. And you got Travis behind them, you know, doing their thing. So, yeah, big salute to Tech Nine. I'm super proud of him and Strange Music.
You got me into a lot. That's all I was going to say. But who is your favorite person to collab with or people to collab with?
Oh, the mob, of course, the regime, man. Rest in peace to Gonzo. That was one of my favorites. Tech Nine is one of my favorites. Al Pacino, one of my favorites. Kenny Kingpin, one of my favorites. Like, just my guys, definitely. But far as other people, Corrupt, definitely Corrupt is one of my guys. Crooked Eye is one of my guys. Who else I like to go to that's just barred out? I love fucking with 40, you know what I mean? And Too Short, them the big homies. Whenever they throw me an alley-oop, I love it. Dru Down, of course. Dru Down will come on and spank it every time he get on the album. Be Legit, Richie Rich, them some of my favorites and my big bros. I love working with them. Yeah, that's about it,
Yeah, and you would feature more underground people, but then even more, like you had Ren on it, like you said, Corrupt, Nate Dogg. I think you had Coogee Rap on a record. Just I love how you would kind of bridge that from the established artists to the more up and coming, like at the time, Tech Nine. If I heard Tech Nine, I wasn't paying attention. He didn't stick out to me until Swain Tech's Anthem, and that
Right.
was '99. That's when he really hit my ear, because that was that posse track is bananas. Chino XL,
Right.
Eminem, Tech Nine, Coogee Rap.
Well, Killers on the Payroll was before that song. That was
Right.
'96. So that gave him a nice look, on the album, that damn near went gold, and it was worldwide, what I mean? That thing was overseas and everything. So he killed that song.
Right.
What I mean? So it definitely gave him a nice alley-oop and a nice push, for whatever he was doing next. But that's my brother. I love working with Tech. That's one of my favorites, man. He is fucking amazing. And you want to work with guys that step you up, that make you better. So still sharp and still. If you're in the studio with Tech, you can't bullshit. Sometimes you could bullshit. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
being a superior artist, not let me like act like everybody could bullshit, but you could just dumb it down, basically. You know what I mean? You could dumb it down and just be simple, or you could technical and get technical and lyrical miracle and all that, right? So when you get with Tech Nine, you better get technical and lyrical miracle. You can't just be doing bullshit bars with him, period. Or he's gonna wrap circles around you. So I like people that bring the fire out of me. You know what I mean? Gonzo, all them dudes bring the fire out of me. I gotta rap good. You know what I mean? I can't bullshit, So I like people that challenge me. Crooked Eye challenged me. He's gonna come full throttle. I gotta go crazy fucking with Crooked. Corrupt gonna go crazy. I gotta go like the people that does this, you know what I mean? It levels me up because I know I can't be slipping in the booth with them because they're fucking hip hop assassins,
Yeah, Crooked Eye and Corrupt are amazing. And off you again, I got deeper into Gonzo's catalog, and man, yeah, more people need to listen to that shit. He's
Yeah,
really
Gonzo is an animal, man.
West Coast as fuck too.
Oh, that nigga, boy, he go crazy, man. So, and he didn't get the proper blow up like he was supposed to. Gonzo one of the hardest niggas coming out of LA. Period. And he don't get his credit, man. But yeah, rest in peace. We definitely gonna give him his flowers, man. Gonzo was the hardest. That's why he was in the regime. I thought he was the hardest youngster out here in LA. Period. Besides Corrupt, straight up.
Another question I ask every guest is, do you have any crazy show memories, stories, something crazy that happened at a live show?
Oh man, just the Biggie tour. That whole tour was crazy. But I say a couple situations happened on that tour. One of the situations was we was in separate hotels and we chilling with chilling with Junior Mafia and whatnot. We go back to our room. We wake up in the morning and we get phone calls that we burnt up a hotel room. And like, what are you talking about? We ain't even in that hotel. They're like, yeah, the Luniz burnt up Junior Mafia hotel. Like, hold on, man. Y'all blaming shit on us because we the opening act. Some other shit happened backstage where undercover security or cop got beat up with a fucking a chain that wraps around, a fucking chain that lock,
Yeah.
a lock chain, a big ass, thick ass chain, got whooped with one of those. It was only one person on the tour that wears that motherfucking chain. And guess who it got blamed on? The Luniz. We don't wear no big ass gate chain that you lock gates with around on there. It's only one person.
Tretch.
That's Tretch.
Yeah.
So Naughty by Nature was on tour with us. So the blame go on us because they headline us damn near.
Right.
So we get blamed for the Tretch shit. We're like, come on, man. Our whole fucking bus gets searched and shit for guns and shit and a big ass chain. Like they on our ass. Like, so Yeah, a couple incidents where we got the blame game was going down, but you know, and eventually we ended up getting kicked off the tour because of the blame game. So it's kind of bullshit. But you gotta pay your dues when you up and coming. You know, that was our first tour, our first big tour. We opened an acts and shit, it happens. You know what I mean? It's like when a rookie come on a team and you know the veterans, you know what I mean, they get to, you know, doing they shit to them, you know what I mean, like the college fraternity, you know what I mean, get the I don't know what that shit called, but
Hazing.
Right, get the hazing on the shit, the same shit, man. It felt like we was getting hazed. You know?
So, you know, we talked about all the people you did do collaborations with. Was there ever someone you wanted to do with and just couldn't get a 16 from them?
Oh shit, fucking music. Dr. Dre. I would have loved to got a beat from Dr. Dre. Lyrics, definitely. Biggie. Biggie was supposed to be on Lunatic Music. He got passed, you know, before it was able to be accomplished. But yeah, Biggie was supposed to be on our second album. You know, he said he wasn't even supposed to be at that Soul Train Awards. He was supposed to go to London. You know, I talked to him on Friday. I was chilling with him that Friday at the MC Suites at his room. So we discussed it. He was like, yeah, I hop on the album, but I gotta go. I'm leaving on Sunday or something. He was leaving a couple of days to go overseas, but he ended up staying till Monday, which was the Soul Train Awards, and that ended up being his death. But yeah, he was supposed to be on the album, so definitely wanted big on the album. Would love to do something with Nas. Love to do something with Jay, of course. Future, shit. Love to do something with Future. Future is fucking amazing. Wayne. I had Wayne in the studio, man. All the hot boys, man, when I was at Rap a Lot, and they end up having to do songs for hella other people before they got to my song. So that one able to happen. So I'm still waiting to do that one. Ice Cube, I love to do one with Cube.
That'd be a dope song.
Just for, you know, just an old school idol legend that, you know, Outkast, man. Andre 3000, man. Andre fucking 3 Stacks, man. I would love to do something with 3 Stacks, and I love to get a beat from Kanye.
So let's talk about new music. Are you working on anything new? What you got coming out soon?
Oh, absolutely. I'm working on 3 projects simultaneously at one time. We got the Thug Lords. That's me and Sibo working on our new album. We almost finished with that one called Cocaine Cowboys. That's dropping next year. My new solo album, City of Dope Part 2, working on that one too. And me and Jay Hood from Yonkers with the Locks, we got a group called The Savages, so we working on our second album too. So 3 albums at once and a documentary. So we working and got the podcast going down, Smoke Light Radio, Wonder Twins, all types of shit. What the Fuck Weekly, Yukmouth TV. So we working.
You got a date for that Thug Lords yet? Because I mean, I used to listen to that too.
We aiming for next summer. We like to drop in the summer. You know, we grind in the winter and drop in the summer. That's been the format. That's how I drop albums. Like right now it's work mode. October, December, November, January, February, that's work mode. And then you start mixing and mastering, start doing the videos and whatnot. Drop probably in May or June, you know. So probably May or June.
And mentioning Sibo, another person I think doesn't get enough credit. Talk about an OG from the West Coast, the music he's given us, the classic music he's given us. I always like to give him props. I don't think he gets enough.
Another one of my favorite artists, Sibo, Too Short, and E40. I didn't give my Bay props when I was naming my influences, but Too Short, 40, and Sibo, and Richie Rich, you know, 415, they all influenced me. So I forgot. Oh, Cool Nut, man. Cool Nut, rest in peace of Cool Nut from Frisco. Yeah, he was a big influence, man. He was tearing shit up when I was young, man. So yeah, a lot of them OGs from the Bay Area influenced me too.
So where can people get at you? Social media tags, you know, plug your pluggables.
Oh, definitely, man. Hit me on the gram at Regime General, REGIME General. Hit me on X at the Real Yukmouth, THA Real Yukmouth. Facebook, Yukmouth, you know what I mean? Website, smokelightrecords.com, and YouTube, Yukmouth TV. Subscribe to your guy. That's about it.
I appreciate you taking the time. I love it when established artists who I've been listening to for 30 years are still doing it. I love to see it. All right, man. Stay up.
All right, y'all be easy. Peace.
Still a B-boy, from the old to the new, still a B-boy. Too bold for the school, still a B-boy. East coast to the west, B-boys worldwide, we supposed to be blessed. Still a B-boy, from the old to the new, still a B-boy. two both for the school, still a B-boy. East Coast to the West, B-boys worldwide, we post